Awesome. That is great news. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Is it like top 4 for EWC or something? But
Three, it says. Three
3,
spots.
okay.
No, you're right. It's four. I just double checked. Yep.
Anyway, that is phenomenal news. And because it means all the players are going to go to that LAN. Like sometimes players would say, I don't want to go across the ocean to another continent, but with EWC spots on the line, I think pretty much everyone is going to be there. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in our first match of the best of 5. I accidentally had the score set as the best of 7. Our finals tonight will be a best of 7, but this is a best of 5 between Rogue and Bunny. And there is Rogue in the bottom right.
He certainly is. And then in the top left, we have a Bunny. I'm having flashbacks to the last time we had these two players on this map where Rogue implemented the Million Overseer strategy. I think we should name that the Rogue's Million Overseer strategy. Because holy smokes.
It really is a very interesting strategy, that's for sure. And we'll see if Bunny's going to lean into that and say, or whether he'll remember what happened last time and go for some more aggressive play or something like that to try and head it off. Anyway, so far though, just a very respectful game between these two players, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a tank all-in or something from, well, not necessarily an all-in, but like a tank push from Bunny down the line, because there is a lot of cliffs and stuff you can abuse on Abyssal Reef.
Absolutely. A lot of cliffs for tanks and Marines and Marauders and Lurkers and all sorts of ranged units. And yeah, what is up in the chat there? We've got Samikron here, Aki here, Phoenix, Jolmang. It's a good night for Starcraft, good morning for Starcraft, wherever you are in the world. And it's a good TVZ to start out. So I'm not complaining. You shouldn't be complaining. And we got an SCV scouting. Seeing, is that an early third hatch? No, it's not. Let's try to block it here, maybe. We got Lings moving out. We have no metabolic boost on the way here because there is no gas from Rogue and no income for gas either. So it's a gasless opening here from Rogue.
That is very important to point out. Good eye on that. As someone that doesn't play Zerg, I sometimes miss things like that. Yeah. So, yes, that is really cool to see. We did have Bunny go for an SCV Scout. I believe he did go for a Marine, but still, his command center is going to be delayed a little bit by these two Zerglings. He's got to do a little bit of micro and then get an SCV back on that command center as quick as possible. Want to hunt down these Lings with his Reaper, which it looks like he'll be able to do. And then Bunny throws down a third command center to match the third hatchery of Rogue.
Yeah, look at that. Third hatch by Rogue. Still no gas. Still no gas income. Finally taking an extractor right now as I'm talking about it. And yeah, so Slowlings and Queens can deal with one Reaper or maybe two, but if it was Mass Reaper, he'd be in trouble. But Bunny is not doing that. So I feel like he got away with something here. He's got 35 workers already because of his gasless opening. And let's go ahead and see what's going on here. Reaper scouting the early third hatch. Well, not too early. And then noting that there is no lair coming up and the spawning pool is not vibrating. So he says, what's going on here with Rogue?
Rogue having to kill his own creep tumor. Even the best players make slight mistakes sometimes, and that's all that is. But yes, Bunny trying to keep an eye on Rogue because he can be a little bit tricky at times. No, what looks like, what was that? Bunny was actually trying to fake Rogue out for a second. He fired up Interference Matrix for half a second to trick him into the fact that there was Banshee Cloak on the way. But there is not. It's just a regular old boring Banshee.
You know, if this was most other Zerg players, I'll be like, all right, that's a good move, but I don't think Rogue will be fazed by that.
No, probably not. It's Rogue. He's probably just going to make a ton of roaches regardless of what you do, so...
Right. He's like, Cloak Banshees, they can't kill 100 roaches in time.
Yep.
So yeah, so roach production, we got a lair coming up. We do have a Spore Crawler showing up, but that's just good for aerial defense. Banshees or Liberators can show up anytime after about the 5:30 mark. So yeah, so it's just being safe there with a Spore, and the roaches are here, which do combat Hellions and Reapers very effectively, as you know, if you've been watching for a long time. Or maybe a short time. Anyway, so we'll get a Banshee for self-defense here in case there's a giant roach push coming across the map. The lair is finished, and I'm excited to see what kind of tech Rogue wants to do here now that he has his lair. There you go, roach speed.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. Kind of boring, but that's a-okay. And yeah, just making more drones. We've got 61 workers here. We're getting up to 70, 75 or so. Maybe take a fourth base. And then we will see what tech Rogue chooses here.
Yeah, Rogue goes heavy into the gas now that he's got a solid economy of minerals so he can expand and build lots of drones. Now he's mining gas, so he'll be able to go into that heavier unit production. Although Bunny's trying to delay that a little bit, comes in with his Hellions, gets 3 drones. That's quite nice.
Yeah, definitely. Drones at this stage of the game going to be fine. At 65 workers for Rogue, though I'm not sure he cares too much. He has 10 more, 11 more in production. My apologies. Infestation Pit finally getting tossed up for the Zerg player. We'll get a Hive. And we will see if he does his Million Overseer strategy here on this map, because Terrans do like to turtle on this map, Abyssal Reef.
They do. Now, whether Bunny wants to do that against Rogue, we'll just have to wait and see. He is currently getting up all that standard Terran production. 2-2 is on the way. He's up on 5 racks, so he can decide how he wants to play this, whether it be by going hard on the aggression, delaying a 4th base, or just take a 4th base in a timely manner and try and win in a longer game. We do see a double Medivac drop move out. It's actually quite important that this at least gets some pressure on Rogue to try and slow him down a little bit, make him sweat. Bunny got a nice delay on some creep tumors or nice pickoff on some creep tumors at the front here, so who knows, maybe he can cancel that 5th base. Instead, his drop is just going right towards that natural, gonna force the drones of Rogue to run away, and it's a classic 1-2 punch with the Hellions coming in as, oh, but they're actually not quite microed properly by Bunny, so a little slow there, unfortunately. Not sure he'd have been able to get anything regardless, but he is going for a dive at that 4th base to get a fair few drones, 7 drones in all. Lots of disrupted mining time, as a lot of those drones were sent to the natural in a panic. So if we actually pull that up, Bunny had a nice income advantage for a moment there.
He did, but he's got 72 workers. Now we had like 18 or 19 Hydralisks popping up in the production tab there.
That is a boatload of Hydras. Holy cow.
That's a ton.
It's like Rogue, he still doesn't have Ling speed, by the way, so there's going to be no Lings to support these. So like if he wants to add muscle for these Hydras, he's going to just have to build roaches, but he doesn't even seem to want to do that. He's like, no, just give me Hydras. This is fine.
It doesn't have the range upgrade for them yet. They've got it doesn't have the speed upgrade yet. He does have the range upgrade. Some Vipers are coming in for Blinding Cloud that could be nice, but yeah, Roach Hydra doesn't do very well against Marine Marauder, which is pushing up onto the creep here at the top right position of Rogue's base. He does see it with the Overlord. We got tanks, we got a lot of Marines here. We've got Combat Shield coming in for the Marines, but not quite there yet. Setting up those tanks on the low ground, forcing an evacuation from this 4th base, shuttling Marines into the 4th base mineral line. And what is Rogue's response going to be here?
Yeah, I think he's just got to play for time in this situation, because he does have those Vipers out there consuming a hatchery. Once they've got energy for an Abduct or a series of Blinding Clouds, then he can potentially collapse on top of this army. Bunny is just stimming forward, seeing an infestation pit in a very exposed position for Rogue. Bunny picks that off. Very nicely done. Notably, Bunny just has his combat shield about to finish up, so he definitely doesn't want to fight before that. It's actually 4 seconds out, and Rogue is picking a fight right now. So great timing by Rogue. Great Blinding Clouds on the tanks.
Yeah, 100%. Tanks are in a lot of trouble there. They're going to die, no big deal. I mean, tanks are going to die in this matchup a lot anyway. We've got ourselves Lunge being researched by these Hydralisks. Combat Shield did finish during the last engagement there. And Bunny's on full retreat, but he did take down a hatchery. We got a Lurker Den finishing up as well back in Rogue's base. Got ourselves a Banshee trying to go ahead and kill the 6th base of Rogue, but these 2 queens can shoot her off because she doesn't have Cloak, as I'm sure Rogue notices, opening up paths by blasting down rocks. Here is Rogue as well, and we are settling into the very late game here.
Yeah, Rogue is now maxed out, so he's got the opportunity to make a play. Notably, he is really lacking his upgrades. I'm not sure if it was just a choice or an intentional decision to delay them, as his +1 Carapace is just finishing up now, whereas Bunny is actually going to have 2-2 at the next fight. So there's potential for it to be 2-2 against 0-1. of Rogue. However, if Bunny's completely out of position and the Zerg goes in, it could just be disastrous for him, and that's exactly what we're going to be seeing. This base is not quite a planetary. Even if it was, it would simply die. Bunny's like, repair? Nope. Okay, abandon ship. And now it's time to go for a counter push. Fortunately, Rogue doesn't have any lurkers out just yet, as they are an amazing defensive tool, and Rogue is actually coming on home. So this is kind of best case scenario for Bunny.
Yeah, look at this. Fully evacuating another base after killing a hatchery there. Bunny is going to take down another hatch. And he's in a great position here, abducting the tanks, abducting another tank here. But yeah, 18 workers have died. It's a 69 to 62 worker advantage here from Bunny, not including mules, man. And yeah, that upgrade advantage is coming into play. I think Rogue doesn't want to engage here because... man, because of the upgrade advantage. We've got high ground as well.
Yeah, the upgrades are so huge. Now, Bunny, he's inching forward with his last remaining tank, but he's just poking forward to try and get this hatchery. He does get it. He's done massive amounts of damage to the economy of Rogue, who's really just on 3, trying to get up a 4th base right now. We're seeing a counterattack by Rogue go towards Bunny's side of the map. Bunny has some reinforcements out, so he should be able to deal with that. He actually cancels the command center. That may have been a slight overreaction because... I mean, he had like 3 Marauders and a decent number of Marines. They could have definitely dealt with those 6 Roaches and saved the CC. Bunny is feeling the pressure, though, against Rogue, so he's going to try and drop into the main base to try and get even more damage done. But there's so many Hydras that are going to collapse on top of this drop. He's just got to abandon ship on that one.
Yeah, losing a medevac in the process as well. 120 to 108 army supply in Bunny's favor. 68 to 59 workers also in Bunny's favor here. Rebuilding a Hydralisk den. 7 lurkers are coming down. We got 2-2 for the Hydralisks and lurkers, and +2 for the vehicles, and 3-3 is on the way here for these Marines and Marauders.
Yeah, so Bunny's still going to have an upgrade lead for the foreseeable future. It is scary now that Rogue is getting into that ridiculous lurker count. 13 lurkers with their seismic spines, with their adaptive talons, are just such a formidable force. And we see this, but Bunny's actually going to try and pounce. Blinding Clouds paired with the lurkers, though, annihilates so much of Bunny's army. That was such a great counterplay by Rogue.
Yeah, certainly. Blinding Cloud abducts are coming in really clutch right now for the Zerg player. Still, 100 army supply here for Bunny with 168 unit count here. Man, so Bunny is on 3 bases at this point. At the 12-minute mark, Rogue's on like 4 bases with a 5th and a 6th coming up here. 3 hatches on the way. So yeah, killing hatcheries is how you do kill a Zerg player here. And the splash damage, I guess, is just going to be lurkers, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff here.
Oh my
from
gosh,
Rogue.
the production tab for Rogue is ridiculous. 3 hatcheries, 17 drones, 12 Hydras. That is the power of Zerg in the hands of a guy like Rogue. He's just already back in a really great, well, in quite an alright spot. He's got all the tools at his disposal, lurkers, vipers, and now he's looking to bring the pain to Bunny. Bunny has produced quite a few ghosts. Great EMPs go down to prevent those vipers landing more critical blinding clouds, so that actually was quite an overcommitment by Rogue. Bunny really slapped that down.
Yeah, absolutely. When all you have left are a few Hydras, they're not going to stand against these 3-3 Marines and Marauders, not at all. Especially how Marine heavy they are. You can snipe Queens, you can take down a Hydralisk with 1 snipe. Drones are being pulled here. We have a drone massacre here. 23 drones are going down. Another hatch is going down. I think Bunny is well in hand in this TVZ of Game 1 against Rogue, man.
Yeah, Rogue was able to max out, but Bunny's army is just so formidable. The EMPs were clutch, and more EMPs go down on the Vipers, shutting them down. And I think that is Rogue going to be running out of steam as he gets separated from his critical mining base. And GG, Bunny takes game number 1. How about that?
Crazy stuff. I will never understand why Zerg players refuse to make Banelings in TVZ. It's just Banelings are so good in this matchup. With the splash damage, with the zoning out. Roaches and Hydras do not scale well, especially into the late game of TVZ, dude. There were tanks, there were snipes, there were 3-3 Marines all over the place. And I just don't understand why Rogue didn't tech switch to anything else, but I guess Bunny kept up the pressure and didn't allow him to do so. So well done, Bunny, here.
Yeah, that was really well performed by Bunny. He didn't make any... I mean, there was a couple mistakes, I guess, on both sides. But all in all, a really Great game by Bunny. He had a commanding lead from that attack that caught Rogue out of position.
Yeah, I mean, that's always great. If you can catch an enemy in a position where they don't want to be, or they're hunting for you and can't find you, then yeah, that's a good way to get something done in StarCraft every single time. So well done, Bunny. It's hard to sneak one over on Rogue like that, but if you can pull it off a couple times in a game, you can find yourself in a position where you can actually get a win. Again, I don't like lurkers in this matchup. I just feel like ghosts do so well at removing them from every engagement. Hydroling Bane is kind of the way to go. Unless you want to go for your 100 Overseer strategy, trying to make it work with lurkers and Niduses and stuff that way while you're distracting and Nidusing everywhere, that makes a lot of sense. But if you're just going to go straight up engagements with lurkers, I just don't get it. I really don't.
Yeah.
But, you know, Rogue's Rogue. You better
Rogue
than I
is
am,
Rogue.
So.
Yeah, big thanks everyone for tuning in to this Soup StarCraft Global. We love doing these events, so make an account as we're back here every 2 weeks. You can click like on the stream to help us out. Just make an account and follow the channel too, and we'll do our part to keep bringing you good StarCraft. If you do want to support the players, and I mean strictly the players, then you can contribute gems to the channel. All gems are forwarded to the players, so then they're able to get a boost in the prize pool. So big thanks to everyone that does support the players that way, as it makes it easier to get them to come back.
100%. So, top right of game 2 on Ley Lines. We got ourselves a blue Terran player. It is Bunny.
And in the bottom left, doing an extractor trick, it is Rogue. Looks like he's sticking with that gasless style then.
It sure does. And I mean, it makes sense to me. I really don't see any reason why not to.
Phoenix
Again,
has supported
unless you're getting proxied, unless you're getting mass
nukes.
rebirth or something, I just don't see a reason why you need it if you're not planning on being aggressive. Phoenix gifting 50 gems out to these players. What up, Phoenix? He's demanding more nukes. We'll see if Bunny can accommodate you that way.
Phoenix being the MVP. You are the best for doing that, and I hope Bunny... I mean, we got Bunny and Gumiho. The odds are fairly decent of seeing a nuke.
Yeah, of the players involved right now, makes a lot of sense from that Terran perspective.
Okay.
All right, well, yeah, just total gasless here. Bunny, I mean, I don't think he even recognized it was gasless the first game, so I don't know that he would try to punish this at all. I think he's just going to play it normally, which is going to let Rogue drone up a whole bunch. If you don't have those 3 workers on minerals or turning into an extractor, that's a lot of drones you can make just for that mineral production. So this is kind of incredible stuff here out of Rogue. I don't know if it's changing the meta necessarily, but I'm feeling kind of inspired here.
Yeah, Rogue is a player who likes to blaze trails with his play style, and we'll see. Maybe he'll do this for a couple weeks and then go back to opening with gas. Yeah, maybe he feels he can get away with this kind of opening because Terrans have started going for fewer proxy or fewer Reaper rushes, that kind of thing. Anyway,
yeah, I think that's pretty true. I mean, Terrans are so happy just to... There we go.
Okay, that's why.
Hatch.
Oh, Rogue with his beautiful Ling micro can kill a Marine. Bunny has to pull a couple SCVs to deal with that pesky Ling. That's a nuisance. That was a nice win for Rogue. And that is something that he seems to like to do with this opening. Send the first 2 Lings across the map. That forces the Terran to pull the Reaper home. Or to pull the Reaper home and sort of take the heat off himself, because Bunny was delaying that hatchery until those 2 Lings showed up, and that Reaper had to head home. That actually allowed Rogue to get that hatchery up without any more trouble, so really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Rogue can get away with stuff that most other Zerg players cannot, and part of that is sending slow Lings across the map. Holy smokes. So we've got maybe a Hellion Marauder push coming up. Overlord scouting to
the
see that
scout
perfectly,
is so
man.
Perfect.
Yeah, that is so demoralizing for Bunny.
He's going to see the Marauder pop out as well.
They were working on a stim and then canceling the stim.
Okay.
Maybe making him feel like it was a concussive shell rush.
Yeah.
I bet that's what it is. He's trying to make Rogue think it's a concussive shell Marauder.
Okay, so maybe he's planning on transitioning out, although we do have a bit of a lag spike, and that's actually on my end.
No, it says me too, attempting to reconnect.
Okay.
Did it just go down? Uh-oh.
Hopefully not.
Hang on. Attempting to reconnect. Both of us. Wonderful. Does not seem promising right now.
Yeah, that's not ideal. We'll give it
Uh-uh.
60 seconds, then we'll probably have to recreate the game.
Uh-huh. Reload from replay?
Yeah, most likely.
If we can pull it off, assuming that the whole network's not down.
Yeah, hopefully not. Let me actually fire up BattleNet to see. Oh, crap. Is there a maintenance going on? No, there's not. It's April 23rd that the alert's for.
Yeah, no, that's way out there.
Okay, I will surrender.
Yeah, I think I will too.
Yeah, apologies about that, ladies and gentlemen. We'll try and get to the bottom of that. Hopefully the...
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up some... What?
Yeah, it looks like we can just recover from replay and it should be fine.
Okay. Trying to... Looks like Rogue is in there. I can't join it, though. Yeah, it tells me the game's no longer available. I'm going to restart my Starcraft here. Let's up 11.305. Boom, boom, restarting Starcraft.
Yeah, thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. Apologies about the issues, but this is a great time to make a soup account, if you guys haven't already. I promise you it is like the easiest website sign up. If you're just lurking in chat and you decide you want to make a witty comment or something, make an account and follow the channel, as we want to show to Soup that their platform, that people do like using their platform, as it is very functional.
I think it is, and I think it's pretty slick as well.
It is, yeah, it's fast loading and everything too. Okay, it says you're already in a matchmaking game or queue.
Yeah, I tried to join your lobby and it says entering lobby, but it's not entering the lobby, so...
Okay, maybe I'll have to remake.
Get out of here again. We'll try it one more time.
Okay, so you're just rebooting, or?
Yeah, I'm just relaunching Starcraft 2
okay, I'll just
again.
reboot too.
Okay.
Oh, technical issues.
Yeah, aren't they wonderful? 2025, you thought we would have gotten rid of these, but definitely not. Okay, so I'm online, you're online.
Just gotta get to the right server.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope everyone's having a great Saturday or Sunday, wherever it is for you.
Okay, let's join it up again. Come on.
You can do it, I believe.
Trying so hard right now.
Okay, Bunny's in.
Good. How's Rogue looking?
And you have you been able to join or no?
It still says it's trying.
That's so weird.
It is weird.
Maybe have you recovered the game?
It's worth a shot. It's fun because you can't even cancel entering a lobby. It's like if you're trying to enter it, it's like, well, you're doing that forever now. Ugh, you have to completely restart the whole program.
I wonder if it's like a routing issue or something, but that's weird how we both dropped at the same time.
Yep.
And now you just use having issues joining? 'Cause...
Yeah, let's get back in here. We'll try it again.
You having trouble connecting now, or?
Yeah, it's trying. Hang on a second. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Okay, so we're back in the right region. Okay, so I'm in the lobby now.
Oh,
I'm in my own lobby. You want to try to join on me?
Yes.
Okay.
It does just say entering lobby.
Oh.
Falcon's cursed, guys.
Mm-hmm. I've got herpes. Starcraft herpes.
It's from hanging out with too many Zergs.
Seriously.
Okay, I guess I'll just stream you the Discord if that works.
Yeah, create the lobby one more time. Let me see if I can join in.
Okay, I just
give it one more shot.
I just had to hop server quickly so I could get rid of that connection message.
Okay. Yeah, Jolming, no kidding. This is not an us issue. I know that. This is a StarCraft 2 issue that's been around for a very long time. If you Google it, the first results are like from 2015. So. All right,
Okay,
enter lobby, cross fingers, knock on wood.
Pray for Falcon, guys.
Wing. God, it's no good.
Oh dear.
No good at all. Okay, Discord stream it is.
All right. Yeah, says you're in a matchmaking game or queue.
Mm-hmm. I'm not even in StarCraft right now, dummies. Incredible.
Oh, I shall have to fix that. Whoops.
Ah, it's all good. StarCraft is what they're here for.
StarCraft is indeed what they are here for. Recovering. One of the best features added to the game, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was added in Heart of the Swarm, I think, 2012. Really nice piece of tech. It's not something I don't think anyone expected to be able to do. They were just like, here it is, and everyone was like, ooh.
Yeah, the tournament organizers were like, I don't have to get people hating me anymore.
Okay, good. We're in. We're recovering. Ah, that's so neat. Look, we're right back where we were.
Exactly.
Beautiful. So good. We need to find the name of the developer who did this and like send them a fruit basket.
Send them a thank you card.
Yeah, like Christmas cards every year. Like, hey man, hope you're doing all right.
Have him be the best man at my wedding.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, probably deserves it. Phoenix says, last I heard that Microsoft is in talks about renting out the rights for StarCraft's IP so that other companies can make games with it. Yeah, whatever. We'll see.
Yep.
We'll see what we get.
We don't need any new games. We just need a minimal amount of attention on the one we already have. All right, Hellions go for it for Bunny, trying to seize momentum after that little hiatus, and he is doing a great job of it, grabbing 6 drones, 7 drones, leaves that last drone with a warning shot, and then gets on out of there with 4 Hellions, notably. That is a great survival rate. But oh, no, Bunny. No, no.
No, you just said a nice thing about him, and then he was like,
I know.
I'll just donate a Hellion, I guess. And probably going to donate this Viking as well. No, he doesn't. He gets out with a Viking. All right. He's learned not to take entirely unnecessary deaths. Good job, man. Looking good. It is Cloak on the way, though.
Yeah.
So interestingly enough, he decides to trick Rogue into thinking he's going Cloak and then go Cloak anyway. Which is an interesting strategy.
Very wise decision by Bunny to go for these Banshees against a guy like Rogue.
Absolutely. I mean, look. To be fair, I kind of feel like going anything against Rogue is like, is that going to work? So, but yeah, at the same time, something like Banshees that do kind of require the Zerg player to mess up a little bit is maybe not the thing you want to be doing here. That said, I see no spores in production. Did he finish Cloak?
Yeah, he did.
Upgrades.
And Rogue has seen the Banshees, but he's winning the mind game because Bunny's like, I'll just keep him at home for now.
Ooh, does he have a spore anywhere?
No, he doesn't.
Rogue doesn't have a spore. The
man's greedy. What can I say?
Bunny is going to ruin him. Bunny, get in there with those Banshees. Okay, Cloak Banshees, yes, but I don't know. Forcing a cancel on a base is pretty nice. There you go. 3 spores getting thrown up immediately. Gets a cancel on the hatch. Kills the drone. Spores aren't here yet, but he's assuming that there are spores already.
He is. Yeah, Bunny could have killed so many things. There is an Overseer out for Rogue, but yeah, there could have been more damage there.
Yeah, he was just so cautious because he assumed that Rogue would have detection, and then Rogue didn't have detection, and Bunny didn't take advantage because of assumptions. Assumptions kill, man. Brutal stuff there. I mean, canceling a base at that stage of the game is very, very annoying for the Zerg player, absolutely.
Yeah.
But my goodness, so many more drones could have died.
It's not just canceling it, it's how long it took Rogue to fire up a new one. Like, he just fired up a new one on the left side. That's probably like a solid 20 seconds after the first one was canceled, which, when it comes to Zergs and needing their 4th base, seconds definitely matter. He does go for a double expansion, so he has another one on the way up, but the Banshees will potentially shut this down again. That would be really nice for Bunny. He's just right-clicked on it, get it, and he kills it.
It's not even a cancel. Dude, Bunny is on point today. Rogue's screwing up a little bit, too. Bunny's like, I need to take a 2-0 lead here, dude. That is, like, the only way I can win this thing. And he does a little push out here. Roaches show up. We have Marines and tanks. Roaches are like, oh, not interested in that. Run.
Lots of scans going down, but Bunny figures he can just fight these Roaches as he pushes on in with his bio. 1 Marauder in the back does get expertly targeted down by Rogue. Incredible decision to do that. Bunny has to retreat to his tanks, but that is actually going all right as far as the trade's concerned. But no, Rogue is actually going to force his way. Medivacs have to lift those tanks up to get them out of there.
Yeah, this is some excellent hold there by Rogue. Very impressive stuff. I didn't think he would have enough, but his macro was enough to keep up and push that back. The Banshees are being countered by the Hydralisks at that point. We have Vipers coming up in the production tab. Tutu is on the way at 8 minutes. His upgrades are not late this game. Tutu as well here from Bunny. Concussive Shell being researched as well.
Yeah, I mean, Bunny is not in a terrible spot. Rogue, though, is just such a beast that you generally want to get some damage done to him, which is why we see Bunny attempting this little drop. He's going to try and push the 4th and the 5th base location at the same time. I really like this. And he's just got to consistently poke Rogue until he can find an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, this is how you play TVZ, man. You show up with attacks every 60 seconds. If there's too much of the Zerg there, then yeah, you pick up and you get out. And you try not to let the Hydralisks kill any of your stuff on the way. And then you show up with another one on the other side of the map, killing creep tumors, preventing vision here from the Zerg player as well, forcing him to respond. Hydras and Roaches are not as fast as Lings and Banelings, and Rogue is pretty dead set on not making any Banelings this game. So a Lurker Den is on the way here as well from Game 1. Well, not from Game 1, but the same thing as Game 1.
Yes. Now, we do have Bunny not going for a 4th base yet. He's still just powering up on 3 bases. He's on 8 racks. Triple factory, by the way. He just wants a boatload of siege tanks against Rogue. He wants to say, okay, have your 2 Vipers. I'm going to have a ridiculous amount of siege tanks. And he's already up to 6, which is quite a number for 2 Vipers to handle. So we'll see how he spreads them out. And well, he doesn't even really need them at this point as he just rolls on in and Rogue is afraid. And that is a dead hatchery.
Yes, it is. This is looking great by Bunny again. Once again, refusing to make banelings, refusing to get Niduses and pull Bunny apart here. Just expecting to go brute force against brute force with Hydras and Lurkers against a Terran player with a lot of Marines and a lot of siege tanks, dude. Dropping inside the main base is Bunny as well.
Oh, nice shutdown by Rogue, having his units in position. Bunny's actually going to test his luck and try and push forward, but he has to think better of it and turn around, fall back to his tank line. Like, I am actually really, really happy with Bunny's choice to keep pumping out these siege tanks, because right now he's on 8 with 2 more on the way, and Rogue still just has those 2 Vipers. Like, you at some point need more than 2 Vipers, and Rogue may just be the stubborn enough Zerg to refuse to build another Viper.
Sure looks like it. Parasitic Bomb on 1 medevac, that's nice, but not going to do a lot here. Going down with those Marines down that ramp, being chased. We got more Marines, more Marauders, more tanks coming up here. Man, equal army supply against a Terran player, dude. 67 workers here. Nice little counterattack of those Rogues and Hydralisks.
Oh, look at that. The tank left back at home. Great decision by Bunny. Another tank going to siege up. That should be enough to defend this. Does make Bunny hesitate for a second as he unsieged all his tanks. Still, though, he defends his 3rd. But pressure is on the Terran because he still is just 3-basing it against Rogue.
He is, but he generally kind of got the same working out for him in the last game. Never really got much tanks. Of a fourth.
Oh, make -2, but...
Yeah, but still, several tanks left over, 4 or 5 there. They outrange Lurkers by a metric mile. Not that far, but it still feels like it. Double abduct. Ooh.
Pulls them into fancy, quite a nice position for the tanks.
Yeah, but what's going to kill him here? There you go. Finally taking it down with Lurkers and Broodlings, hilariously. But 5 drones go down in the meantime. Still 71 workers for Rogue, continuing to make... Well, actually, he's making 19 Zerglings here. Hold on a second. 44 Zerglings on the way. Does he believe in the power of Lings? He's got Adrenal for these boys.
Adrenal, but no attack upgrades for them, notably. So they will be the fastest attacking, weakest hitting Zerglings around. Bunny
catching a couple Lurkers up here, too. I mean, this is... I don't know. Like you keep talking about, the 3rd base. The 3 bases here from Rogue. No 4th base from our guy. Double Nidus on the way from Rogue. He's been listening to the cast. He's like, you know what? I do need Nidus. I do need Lings, Falcon. You're absolutely correct. Let's get in on some of that stuff. Pushing up the top side. It's just Lings with, again, without any attack upgrades, some Roaches and some Hydras. It's just not enough. There is no splash damage with this army at all.
Yeah, he didn't reposition some of his Lurkers. He was a little greedy, and now Bunny is coming up here with quite a few tanks. Medivacs are working overtime to try and heal up this injured bio. Meanwhile, Bunny is planning on going for another drop. The main base of Rogue is rather exposed, so we'll see if he actually pulls the trigger on that. Right now, his units are just hanging out in there. He is lacking buffer for these tanks right now as Lings do come forward, so that's potentially going to be a fair few dead tanks.
Not as many as you would think, though. Several tanks do remain. Drop into the main base. Does get rebuffed by the Hydras that have been there for a while here. These Lurkers seem entirely stationary. Bunny is mined out of his main base. And in the production tab, we have a command center coming up somewhere.
So many. Oh, no. So many tanks. Oh, but they all get out of there.
He saved them. See, Lunge is garbage. Couldn't kill a single tank.
Medivac boost beats Lunge.
Sure does. What a great upgrade Medevac boost is. Lunge is poop by comparison. Baneling Nest on the way, dude. Listen. Rogue's working on 3-3 for the Hydras, for the Lurkers, for the Roaches.
Okay, Bunny needs to get his tank sieged up because these Vipers and Lurkers are coming on in. And he tries to stim into that.
Yeah, that's not a lot of Marines.
Yeah,
it's just not enough bio here to cover. Maybe too many siege tanks. Nidus coming up in the main base as well. SCVs see it. You can't kill a Nidus with workers before it comes up. You used to be able to. You cannot anymore. Just pushing anyway is Bunny. Kind of letting this Nidus do whatever the heck it wants. Which, whatever it wants is like 10 Lurkers. But that means there aren't any Lurkers on this side of the map. And Hydraling, I mean, just Hydra Zergling not going to do much here. I guess there are some Lurkers defending on the high ground there. But shelling away at one of the tanks. Lurkers causing major problems for the main base here inside of... Yeah, this is bad for Rogue. But Bunny does kill a base top left and get out of there. Just kill the hatch. Falls back to the siege tanks. Lurker's high grounding it into the third base of Bunny. He just never got that fourth base, and I don't know what he's expected to do now.
Yeah, Rogue can burn bases. Bunny can absolutely not afford to lose his main, and I think it's just going to be a slow death from here on out. Dislodging Lurkers is one of the hardest things to do as Terran and Starcraft 2. Like, once they're in your once they're in your main base, you're just screwed.
Yeah, unless you have ghosts. You can get some really good snipes off there, especially if they don't have detection.
Yeah,
they can't do anything about it. But Bunny doesn't have ghosts at 15 minutes.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah,
well
I mean,
done.
honestly, as soon as he saw it was that many lurkers, he should have started making, I want to say, ghosts instead of siege tanks. I think ghosts are a much better answer there. He used them to great effect in game 1. I don't understand what he was trying to go for there, but very weird couple of games so far. We're tied up 1-1, which is really exciting. But yeah, so far, I don't know. I feel like both players who've lost their games have kind of felt a little meh about it. So we'll see if they're both warmed up for a game 3. See what we can get by way of Bunny and Rogue.
Are you going to try and come online for this one?
Yeah, let me give it a shot here. I've got an SSD. We can get the Starcraft launched up here pretty quick. Yeah, I mean, generally, getting a Nidus of Lurkers inside your main base should not just be an auto-win feature against a good Terran. We've seen it done a lot. Clem does it a lot, and it's just, you know, you can't clear it out, but you have to have ghosts. You almost have to have ghosts.
Yeah, even then the positioning is very difficult to get properly. Like,
it worked. It is.
Yeah.
It's not easy. I'm just saying, it's doable. That's all. Okay. Good. Good, good, good. We're in. That fixed it somehow. I don't know why. But we're on Amydala for game numero 3.
Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in to this event. If you haven't already, click that like button on the stream and follow the channel as well. If you do want to support the players, you can contribute to the prize pool simply by sending gems to the channel. Those are all forwarded to the players, and that increases the prize pool for them.
Certainly does. Get it done, folks. Thanks again to Phoenix for the donation already.
Okay.
Hey, top right of Amydala. He needs to make some ghosts, I think. It's Bunny.
And in the bottom left, it's Rogue, the monster Zerg. There's a reason Bunny was trying to kill him so quickly and didn't want to go to a 4-base play.
Very strange stuff, man. Really weird stuff. So yeah, Bunny, make ghosts, get a 4th base at the 15-minute mark at least, and you should have a better time in this game against Rogue. Who knew? Who knew such easy fixes were available? Let's see if Rogue still continues to go no gas. I've seen this fairly infrequently over the last couple of years, but it's really hasn't been enough that I've remarked upon it. But Rogue doing it 3 games. Nope, got an extractor. Okay, I was going to say 3 games in a row would be nuts, but no. He is getting his gas. It's not an extractor trick. He's being very normal this game, and I don't know why. I don't think it hurt him to go gasless for games 1 and 2.
No, I think it's a good decision because the chance of Bunny reapering, I think, goes up in a map 3 on Amydala, so.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. He's not doing it. Like, if Bunny just wants to try to blind counter a gasless opening, he's not doing it now. He's got 1 Reaper. He's going Orbital. He's going Expand. He doesn't have a 2nd Rax. He's not doing any of the stuff that he would be doing if he was trying to blind counter what Rogue's been doing.
Yeah, but Rogue don't know that. He's just playing it safe.
No, I know. But I'm just saying, he could have totally gotten away with going gasless again.
Mind games.
It is. It's, well, if he thinks I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that. But if he thinks I'm going to do this because he thinks I'm doing that, then I'm going to do this. Yeah, you can talk yourself in circles, man.
You really can. SCV is forgotten about.
Ugh.
Does end up making it home as the Reaper rolls on in. We also have an interesting comment in chat by Ice Chingu. I hope I pronounced that right.
Ice Chingu.
What is the best sandwich, historically speaking? I like the historically speaking on the end of that. Like, It's like,
I'm
what
gonna
is
Google
the,
history of the sandwich real quick.
what is the
modern
goat of sandwiches? What is the
Right.
Cyril? What is the Flash of sandwiches?
So Google says the modern sandwich is generally credited to John Montagu of the 4th Earl of Sandwich in 18th century England, who wanted a convenient snack while gambling. While the concept of bread with fillings existed long before, Montagu's request for meat between 2 slices of bread popularized the idea and gave it its name. So there you go. So it dates back to friggin' what they say, 18th century England. So it's a lot of years of sandwiches.
Yeah, that's like 200 years. See, a part of me wants to say like PB&J is probably the goat, but then it's probably not been around that long because like peanut butter isn't that old, is it?
No, I think peanut butter dates back to kind of like colonial era America. So I mean,
Yeah.
but that's
Okay.
a couple hundred years ago
And
now.
how about this? How about grilled cheese?
Yeah, I don't know how far that one dates back to. I don't know. The problem is there are like a hajillion other sandwiches out there. Like the banh mi is a Vietnamese sandwich that's pretty popular the world over. We've got the hero out of Greece, if you want to call that a sandwich. The sando from Japan. Francisa from Portugal. I mean, so many cultures have their own sandwiches
what's
at this
a
point.
francisa?
Let's look it up.
Because I'm going to Portugal, so I
Francisa.
want to know if I got to eat this sandwich.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It is from Porto. It's filled with various meats, cheeses, and a special tomato and beer sauce.
Oh.
Sounds interesting. Steak, wet-cured hams, sausage, sometimes other deli meats, melted cheese, toasted bread, and then a rich tomato and beer sauce, known as Molo de Francisca, is poured over the sandwich. That's crazy. Yeah, you should get one and tell us how it is. Here, I'll put it in our chat so you know how to spell it.
Thank you, thank you.
There you go. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right either, so. No, yeah, Joel Ming, right. They figured out how to put stuff inside bread, but the concept of 2 distinct slices of bread with stuff in the middle is the Earl of Sandwich attributed to him. It's a kind of a pedantic thing to say, but it's definitely what the internet is believing here. Anyway, Starcraft's been happening. We got Lings this time.
Yeah,
Laughing
lots
Games.
of Lings. Well, soon to be lots of Lings, as he's got 1-1 on the way.
Interesting. I like it. I like getting a little pressure off. Yeah, 25 Lings, 26 Lings in production here.
Yeah, 4th on the way. No Banelings, though, from Rogue yet. Money, he's unloading. He's got Hellions to assist his Marines as he comes in towards the 4th. This could be a very powerful attack by the Terran.
I mean, they usually are.
Yeah, this 4th base is just done. Killed again, too. Second mistake of the day. Well, second not cancel by Rogue of the day. There's the counterattack by Rogue. Bunny has got a tank and Marines that wisely retreat to it as the Lings slip outside of that wall. But the Terran is probably okay with that if he can prevent any further counterattacks. As getting a Zerg's 4th base delayed is quite a big deal. That's why we've got Rogue investing in 2 bases. I love how this has become standard play for a lot of players. As, like, it's just so often that they'd always get 1 base canceled. It'll be like, well, I'm stuck on 3 bases for at least another 90 seconds, 71 seconds. So it's quite a big... It's really good because, for example, Rogue is going to lose this base, but he's going to have another one, so he'll still be on 4 bases. Very important. We've now got a counterattack going in, and there is a open door.
Oh, no. And when you have a hajillion Lings like that, that is the worst time to have an open door here. 4 SCVs going down, 3 drones going down on the other side, making sure the door stays open for future Ling attacks here. Look how good Zerglings are, man. They are great units, great for using in this matchup. But Marines against Queens, yeah, 1 Queen died. They're going to start falling. Transfuses are not infinite here. Trying to pull them into tank positioning. Ling's trying to jump on the Marines, kind of getting obliterated, but buying some time for the Queens and the Hydras to get a little bit closer here and shut this thing down, but there's no splash damage at all. And Rogue's army is thinning out really fast. Is there barely enough to handle these tanks? Yes, just barely enough with the defender's advantage.
Somehow he does it. He also kept that 5th base barely alive during that. Bunny, I think, kind of just disregarded it and never actually got the killing blow. So Rogue's production is still going to be quite strong. Notably, Bunny went for all this play without his 1-1 upgrades. He must have forgot to start them sooner or something, because there's no way, I think, that he planned on reaching 8.5 minutes in the game and not having 1-1 done. That's probably why the fight went so good for Rogue, if I had to guess.
Yeah, it looked okay there, but eventually the Marines just kind of melted. And yeah, having upgrades would have helped immensely, obviously, here at 8.5 minutes. Going for the hatch. The Hydra is going to kill him fast enough. No! The last second he gets the hatch. Beautifully done.
That is such a bold play by Bunny. Really, really well done. I mean, like, it is not often that your Marines will live long enough to actually finish off a hatchery like that, but Bunny had great game sense to realize, you know, Rogue's probably out of position there, or maybe he saw something that tipped him off. Either way, great decision.
Yeah, I mean, getting a hatch, like I said, how do you kill a Zerg player? You kill their hatcheries. If you do that, you're going to have a good time. You have to expand yourself, obviously, but that's part of the equation. Ooh, good pick off on the medevac. Nobody gets a ride home there. Seismic Spines is on the way for the Zerg player, Rogue. He's going to use lurkers, whether with Niduses or not. We'll have to find out. Knocking out these rocks here. Drop down to the south side. There we go. Jumping in, clearing out a bunch of creep, which is satisfying, and it's practical as well. Clearing these creep tumors really helps you doing future attacks. Bunny going to try to take this gold, which is a lot of fun on this map.
Yeah,
I mean, it takes a while to kill those rocks, man, with like 4 units.
It really does. You get those SCVs attacking those rocks, Bunny, because this is just painful. Oh, Hydras roll up on the other side. If you're Terran and you're taking this base, you definitely need to set up a few tanks at it. But Bunny comes in with the ambush on the Hydras and kills off a fair few of them.
Man, just kind of holding it off here. Good tank positioning behind the fog. Gold base running, that's going to be a big deal. But if you can't deal with these Hydras and these Lurkers on the other side of this gold, what can you do? Siege tank's unsupported over here. Rogue decides to jump on it. Going to take a lot of tank. Oh, he burrows the Hydras for just a second.
Yeah, he must have meant to burrow the Lurkers and messed up. That's really unfortunate. Also, this Lurker positioning is really unfortunate for Bunny. He's got 2 tanks there, but Rogue knows that his Lurkers can kill tanks if they just roll up on them. So that is very, very well done as Bunny has his mining heavily disrupted. Lings now go for the wraparound as the Terran is wholly out of position. Bunny has to come back to try and help with this, but things have just gone very bad for him in the past 60 seconds, pardon.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a very specific number, Laughing Games. I'm impressed. So what do we got? 62 to 88 workers here. Rogue is way ahead in economy, even with the mules here. 4th base is coming down from Bunny. After losing to that base there, we have a Liberators. We got a Widow Mine not firing because he cannot see these Lurkers. They are both burrowed. They cannot see each other here. That is kind of a funny interaction. Widow Mine cannot kill Lurkers because of how much HP they have. Liberators just walking through the weird circles there, and then trying to force liftoff on. There we go, forcing off liftoff on that orbital command. Widow Mines taking out a couple Zerglings here. Those are not the hits Bunny is expecting to get. But yeah, the Lurkers are pushing out, and I think Rogue is about to win here.
Yeah, Bunny's hanging on. He did get a base of Rogue, and he does have a decent economy. Like, he's got... The one thing that I really like about this form is the fact that he made 2 extra orbital commands, and he made his 4th base an orbital, not a planetary. So, like, he's got the potential to have an income to really keep this game going, as long as he doesn't die in, like, the next minute or so. And Rogue doesn't seem hell-bent on ending the game. Like, he's attacking rocks right now to open up an attack path, and Bunny has had a moment to breathe.
Yeah, just a moment, though, which isn't particularly great. I don't know. The tanks, the Marauders, I do like adding Liberators in here, especially Hydras can. There he goes. Ghost getting some snipes off there, too.
Yeah, really nice move by
Excellent.
Bunny. Kind of winning that engagement. We'll see if he can maybe get some harassment done at, say, the top left. Rogue has Liberator-proofed his base, though, with Spore Crawlers, so that's really nice. He's now going for a run by Bunny. Does maintain Liberators and the wall at the front, which is really nice, so the Lings have got to take another attack path. But that may actually work out. We'll see.
Ugh.
Oh, no, Bunny. He took the bait. He's pulling everything back.
Oh.
Womp womp.
Yeah, that's not a great decision there, but I mean, you got a million things going through your mind right now. Trying to macro, trying to keep an eye on both sides of the map. Rogue is everywhere right now.
Yeah, he snipes down the Hydras, so the Liberators are actually kind of unchecked. So that's actually a very big deal for the Terran. Lings finally are getting cleaned up as Bunny's just holding on his 4 bases. Rogue's economy is good, but it's not... Oh, actually, I mean, it's 99 drones now, as I say that, with another base going up. Now that this 6th base is going up, that's going to give him a lot of longevity here. Bunny, though, he's building a new command center, so he's getting ready to take a 5th, potentially in the bottom right. And he is just about maxed out.
You know, I like it. Getting a 5th base, getting ghosts. He's doing all the stuff we wanted him to do in the last game. He's, you know, he could be in a worse position.
Yeah, definitely. Like, this has been a fairly scrappy match, all things considered. Rogue moves forward. The scan is late. You got to drop the scan prior to the lurkers burrowing, otherwise the snipe will break.
What? Are you sure? That's great. Adrenal getting fired up here by Rogue. Kind of surprised it doesn't have it yet. Lunge in to catch a Liberator, and they don't quite get it, but that's okay. Widowmine's not getting a shot off there. Lings don't have Adrenal. They don't want to quite engage with these guys at the moment. Changelings getting sniped out because there aren't 50 of them. A much easier job for Bunny to do.
It's a good thing Bunny went for a ton of orbitals, because he is having to scan like mad to try and play against these lurkers. And he's doing quite an alright job of it. He's got to be wary of the Nidus Worm, though, as Rogue fires up one of those.
Liberators, again, kind of a good thing here. As long as you don't let the Hydra just walk up to them and burn them out of the sky, they're pretty darn effective. Snipes taking out a couple lurkers there. This is what I'm talking about. Lurkers have a really hard time when there are a lot of ghosts on the field, as all the best Terran players do. Killing that hatch, not a cancel on that either. Counterattacking up in. Couple Liberators not going to stop a Ling Hydra army by any stretch of the imagination. They die immediately. Through the wall we go. Ghost trying to respond to this. And pretty good against Zerglings, but they've got Adrenal in a +1, and they are here to stay, at least for the minute.
Yeah, it's definitely getting some damage done, but Bunny repositions his army and gets it up here to help try and clean this out, stimming forward, sniping the lurkers and charging forward with the bio. It costs him a bit, but he's still standing. He's now trying to attempt to land a set. That's a 6th base for the Terran. He's also building another command center by this planetary. I've been preaching about this for years. If he turns that into a planetary, I'll be so happy. Beautiful snipe queue on those lurkers as well, as Rogue makes a mistake with his pathing for a second and Bunny capitalizes.
I like it. He's in this thing, man. He's got, you know, he doesn't have the bank that Rogue does. Behold, the Nidus erupting. Okay, nothing coming out of it, which is like the greatest thing every Terran player wishes for when a Nidus erupts in his base, is that nothing comes out of that thing. But got to respond to it anyway, because it represents death, as we saw in the last game.
Yes, it definitely does. Bunny has drops 2 scans, trying to, well, just see what's going on, but he hasn't killed that Zergling yet, so the base still cannot land.
The most cost-efficient Zergling in the history of time. Look at that little guy. Look at him. Are you seriously out of scans? That seems weird. I love the repair on that refiner where that one Hydra tries to burn it down with +3 attack. That's great. Changeling, changeling, changeling. No, no, no. And Nidus getting killed too.
Yeah, I am a little worried for Bunny just because his area to cover is so huge. But his ghosts are in a beautiful position as Rogue tries to go down the ramp. He does get a tank or 2. It costs him a fair bit, though. This game has slowed down a bit. Is it double planetary? No, it's not double planetary, Bunny, you coward.
Well, maybe next game.
It's going to start happening at some point.
Oh my gosh, he lands the command center. Ugh. Out of range of those lurkers. He can't mine from it, though. This little tiny group. Nope, they're stuck. Their ride just died, man. They are done. That's as dead as a group's ever been. Another knight is coming up inside the bottom right here, inside of range. Not of the planetary. Good snipety snipe, snipe, snipe. A lot of lurkers are dying in this game, but the scan ran out before the snipe could finish.
So painful. We've now got Rogue down here trying to get another Nidus up, but Bunny shuts that down. He's playing really well here on Amygdala right now. Like, he is covering a massive area trying to defend against Rogue's attack, but they just don't seem to have that bite that they usually do. I'm not sure exactly why Rogue is having such a hard time finding success. I guess Bunny's just done a really good job splitting up his army and preventing Rogue from capitalizing on that.
His only splash damage is lurks, and they're just not getting the value with all the ghosts that are out on the map, and the liberators, and the marauders, and the siege tanks. Like, this is a weird, weird late game comp. Look at these ghosts. He needs to stop making lurkers. He just fired up like 17, but once those are dead, he needs to end it, I think.
Okay, another Nidus Worm going up inside the main base. Somehow a Changeling got in there. Although I guess it's not a somehow, because there is 15 Overseers out for now as Rogue goes into his shenanigans. A tank pops out. 2 Widowmines run forward to help potentially shut this down. Rogue is just trying to distract Bunny to create opportunities for himself. It is 21 ghosts against 16 lurkers right now, though. Oh.
Yeah, and there you go. Hey, it's the lurkers in the main base we were talking about, and look, you can clear them out with cloaked ghosts. They run, they die. That was, I mean, it looked easy. I'm sure it wasn't, but it's much easier than we don't have those ghosts. So there you go. Another knight is getting killed here, and you'll notice we're not making lurkers to remax. It's going to be zerglings here, probably some banelings. While we're at it.
Maybe that's what Rogue needs to do to start hitting quicker. Like, hit the north, bounce to the south as fast as he can, knowing that Bunny would have a hard time answering an attack over such a big distance. Bunny's also had a hard time securing up this gold base as well. He's mining the gas from it as there's Crete blocking his expansion. He's got a decent bank and a decent amount of income, but he will eventually start to mine out. And here goes Rogue charging on in. Liberator and tanks firing away, but this is going to be a few dead orbital commands as the Terran was out of position to deal with this one.
Yeah, those orbitals, 2 of them do stay alive there. Could have been worse. That backline siege tank helping immensely there. Oh, finally getting advanced ballistics.
I know. I was just about to say, like, holy cow. No advanced ballistics, no ship weapons for Bunny yet. Massive amounts of changelings going into his base.
Uh-oh. Yeah, definitely getting in there. Cracklings on top of your SCVs. Rogue just kind of being everywhere at once. And when you have the fast units, it goes well for you. Right side in a lot of trouble. Lurkers trying to cover for the Hydras as they dive down on the command centers that are being built here. That's got to be a cancel. No! The Ghost actually forcing the Hydras out of there as well. Nidus erupts inside the natural base of Bunny while all this is going on. Couple lurkers come out of there. 18 SCVs have died. 40 do remain here. I think Rogue just has too much of the map. It's going to come down to, can Bunny get some incredibly cost-efficient engagements here, or else he's just going to lose this thing?
Yeah, he's not been doing a bad job so far. Rogue is starting to hit his stride, though, with just having one attack followed by another and another. And that's what we see. Hydra's escape from the Ghost snipe range. The command center at the natural died. Bunny's economic management also hasn't been perfect. Like, he's got high oversaturation on this base and literally no SCVs mining the bottom right. He's just dropping mules there.
Yeah, I mean, at this stage of the game, it makes sense. You don't need a ton of SCVs. You have so many orbitals. You're running out of the money on the available minerals you have anyway. So let's put all of that into army if we can. Still, it's only 153 army for our guy. You know what's pretty good against ghosts are spines. Because ghosts don't kill buildings very quickly.
Okay. Yeah. This is a bit sad for Bunny. Things looked promising. He got himself into a decent position throughout this game, but now Rogue is really just hitting his stride. Widowmine's going off. Rogue's just got so much stuff, though, and Bunny is going to need to take an amazing fight in order to come back from here, but he's having to take his time to clear up a few lurkers before he can respond to this. There's another 7 lurkers to the north there. So many Hydras for Rogue as he's making 26. The Ghosts are sniping and doing so double time, but now Bunny has just taken so much damage, and he just didn't quite have a tight enough defense, I suppose, or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to that gold base getting shut down and not quite taking another maybe couple bases on his side of the map here.
Yeah, well, it's like he's
Rogue's, look at Rogue's bank.
Yeah, he still wasn't mining there from that base, and it's just.
I don't know it matters all that much, but
I mean,
yeah,
he would have been able to trade more had he been mining more efficiently than. Anyway.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. 100%. It would have been more efficient. The problem is that, yeah, that bank. Rogue was able to take so much of the map, get so much money that he could afford to be incredibly inefficient, especially if he's killing other SCVs on the other side of the map. So
it is true. It's very difficult for, well, on a map like that, for Bunny to, like, he was literally defending from top to bottom of the map. It's like, that is not an easy thing to do against a guy like Rogue.
No, definitely not. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't many Terran players who would have done better in that situation. Maru comes to mind. He's kind of the king of that late game TVZ. But Bunny did his best approximation thereof, with the Ghosts especially, but it just came down to he just didn't have enough bases to hang. He was making some good trades, without a doubt. But at the end of the day, if you don't have enough money to keep making those good trades and you run out, it's just a bad time all around. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get Bunny to force a game 5 here in our first game set on Frostline. And yeah, what I tell you about Lings, man, they're good.
Lings are good.
Don't sleep on Lings, Rogue.
Yeah, Rogue did kill Bunny when he started going to a more mobile composition. So, all right, it's Bunny. You guys know who's been playing for the past hour.
Yeah, sure do. And then down here it's Rogue. He's red. He's looking fancy.
Yeah, and he's going to win EWC 2025.
That is your pick after all.
Or maybe he'll win DreamHack Dallas. I don't know.
Oh, I think you got to pick a lane, honestly.
I don't know.
I mean, I think winning EWC is a lot harder than winning DreamHack.
I don't know. Everyone's going to be at DreamHack, though. And Rogue's always been pretty good at, like, those, like, short LAN tournaments.
Yeah?
So, I don't know. Maybe DreamHack Dallas.
Could be. It's going to be a really fun time. All right. Let's see when Rogue gets his gas. That's an interesting thing to keep track of this game. Let's see if Bunny decides to go for anything other than what he's been doing, which is 1 racks expand into a factory. Additional racks would be pretty cool, but, you know, doesn't have to do it. There's the gas. So Rogue does have gas coming in. He's playing it normal again. And I'm just not sure that Bunny's in a position where he's even going to try. It's not sure. It's not sure if he's going to give it a shot here to try to punish anything that Rogue's doing early game. He's just pretty happy to be middle of the road between macro and harassment. No real all-ins from him. No attempt at a bunker rush at all. Which, to be fair, the last person in the world I'd want to bunker rush is Rogue.
It's true. Yeah.
So I can't really blame him for that. But, you know, mixing it up a little bit seems like a fine idea.
Yeah. Reaper moving out for Bunny. He's got the Marine on the way behind it. No SCV scout or anything. Big thanks to everyone for tuning in today. Sorry.
No, you're good. It's just so risky. It's just, you're like asking for the Lings to get out there and shut down your command center. But yes, thanks everyone for tuning in.
Yeah, I was just going to say, after this best of 5, we've got Gumiho taking on Classic, which is going to be another great best of 5. This one's already delivered. And yeah, then they'll play the winner of this series.
Potentially looking like Rogue, but you never know. It's only a best of 5 here. Just got to win 2 games against Rogue, which seems possible. Building that 3rd CC, sub 3 minutes inside of his main here. It's a build that Maru popularized a couple of years ago now, and it's just everywhere. And there's really not much Zerg can do to stop this.
No, because Terran has the potential to make Banshees. So, like, if Zerg builds to a big Roach Hall, and it's like, hey, I'll just have my Banshees at home. So then Zerg has to bring Queens, but That's doesn't really work these days, so.
It doesn't. I always used to say that, but then I watched Cyril absolutely crush somebody with a Roach Ravager
who'd he
attack,
do
and
it
they
to?
had like 2 Banshees. I don't know. It might have been Maru, honestly.
Maru
It
does
was
die to things like that. But
He does. But he had everything he needed. He just did what I thought he needed to do. He had the Banshees, right? And I was like, oh, okay, he's going to shut this down. And Cyril's like, no, he's not. I was like, wait, what? And then Cyril crushed it. So I guess that is the way you can punish that fast third. If you're Cyril, I haven't seen any other Zerg players pull it off, though. Yeah, Joel Mang's like, yeah, but that's Cyril. It's like, yes, it is.
yeah.
High ground, perchy spot for that Overlord is nice.
Okay, Bunny, I mean, he's got his bioproduction going. So he's going to be able to... That's the cool thing about this 3 command center build that he's going for. It allows Terran to have a nice early 3 command centers, but then still put a bit of pressure on the Zerg. He's notably cut Hellions, only going for 4 this game. That is how Terran can kind of get that production up a little bit sooner. The command center making the detour. Okay, he does have that timed out perfectly, so... You can see that. Scouting Ling for Rogue runs up the ramp, so he'll know exactly what he's up against.
Yeah, he sees the 2 racks, 1 reactor, 1 tech lab. He didn't see the starport or the factory, but you have to assume based on those add-ons that that's happening. So yeah, good. Pretty good scout there from Rogue. Lost a couple Lings, totally worth. Droning is absolute face-off here, 7 drones at a time. Here at 5 minutes. When I do that, it gets me killed in latter games, but that's fine. Rogue can get away with it. Yeah, look at this. Actually going to lose a queen. Pushed a little bit too far out.
Second queen?
2 queens.
Can he grab the Overlord as well? Yes, he can.
Absolutely. 100%. Death to the... Ooh, those queens are off creep as well, but Bunny does not see them. Whew. Man, the speed difference. Is that the biggest speed difference in StarCraft? Queens off creep versus on creep? Like, I know Lings getting speed increases their speed quite a bit, but I honestly think it might be queens on and off creep.
I think you're probably right about that. That's interesting. I guess that's just... It's not like a mathematic thing where all Zerg units get the same boost. It's
right.
It's just totally different for every unit, which is kind of cool.
That is kind of cool. Try to get that hatch, but hey, look what Zerglings are doing. They're saving that hatchery and totally forcing this armor away and allowing the queens to get in.
It wasn't a terrible trade for Bunny. However, losing that Medivac at the end of that hurts.
Yeah, and that's a full retreat, and the hatch is fine. If these were roaches, they'd be too slow, and that hatch would be dead. Not that I can know that for sure, but it sure feels that way. Anyway, Baneling Nest coming in. I think Rogue started getting a Baneling Nest at about 21 minutes in the last game, so this is a Baneling Nest that's incredibly early comparatively for him.
Yeah, Rogue
also got layer timing mixing up with that too, or lining up with that, so it should be Baneling speed.
Rogue just likes to run circles around Terrans. And Lings are a great tool for doing that. He's heading towards the 3rd base. There's a tank there. Bio is coming on in, so Bunny's safe from this one, but there will be more.
You can count on that. Walling off against potential Baneling attacks there. Well, there they are.
Good thing he's walling off.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's a fine. The Banelings, well, I don't know, could go around the outside there a little bit.
The tank is going to nuke those Banes. Okay, he's like, yeah, the tank will nuke those Banes. I'll just hit those depots.
Yeah. Not getting this hatch either. Look how fast Lings are to respond to this. They killed a Hellbat.
Yeah, that's not the greatest trade for Bunny, although he does.
Yeah, I mean, he trades out some Lings and stuff there, sure. But, I mean, I just feel like from my perspective, every TVZ I watch, when Zerg players go just Lings and Banes and Queens, Terran just can't do anything about it. They cannot push. They cannot poke. They cannot prod. The Lings are there in 2 seconds, and it feels futile as compared to Roaches and Hydras, which are like, we'll be there. Give us like 40 seconds. And then you lose hatches that way. We've seen that in this series.
Yeah, I think Bunny needs to just really power here, build up a nice, solid Terran army, and then make a quintillion Widow Mines. Like, I think that's how you're going to beat Rogue, who's making 1 billion Lings. It's to make...
46 Lings are on the way, yeah.
Like, mass Widow Mines, the more Lings there is, the better the connections they get. So we do have Bunny
100%.
triple pumping these mines. Drilling Claws is on the way. Like, I want to see him make, like, 15, 20 Widow Mines. Because they will get connections.
They will. They're just so unreliable. I feel like I've seen games where Widow Mines totally win it for the Terran, and other games where Widow Mines are like, meh. They maybe did more damage to the Marines than they ever did to the Zergling. Well, even if I've seen Clem lose games where he's using a lot of Widow Mines, and it's like, well, did the Widow Mines, did they actually kill anything? And it's like, sort of. So, I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough out there with Widow Mines. I agree with you, though. I think that's what he should do. It's not like, okay, now you're going to win because you made Widow Mines, you know? As these Widow Mines got pretty much nothing done.
Yeah, Bunny is powering up in supply, though, so both players quite close in supply. This drop going down will be shut down as the Banelings roll into those unfortunate Marines. The Terran does want to maintain a presence here, though. He's going to have to lift those units up, and he does in a timely fashion. He's now running forward with a ton of Widow Mines. Rogue has to split his units. There's another mine. Doesn't burrow in time, though. Bunny just has to get on out of there. Meanwhile, there's a big Ling attack towards the front, but solid defense so far by Bunny. Widow Mines do get successfully baited out by Rogue, and now more Lings are coming in. Bunny retreats
Friendly
to
fire
the third.
tank splash. Yeah, SCVs are okay, this is just kind of falling apart.
Yeah.
Zerglings are OP, man. Oh.
Zerg is good when in the hands of a guy like Rogue. Bunny is close to mustering a defense. Like, both players have plummeted in supply, as they were both at like 180 a minute ago, and now they're both at 130 just about. Who knows?
Yeah, but 79 to 61 workers in favor of Rogue right now. He's making 40 Lings at a time, 13 Banelings, a Hive's on the way.
This could be an opportunity for Bunny, though, as he does step onto creep. It's a long march onto creep, though, and there's the inevitable counterattack. There is Marines that are unfortunately pathing there. Those Widow Mines are going to need to burrow. This is the thing, like, you got to have a solid defense, and he does successfully defend that counterattack as he marches onto creep as well.
Yeah, I don't know, man. 48 Lings in production, 7 Banelings. Here they come. He's not even splitting against the Widow Mines. He doesn't care. Okay, that was a bit of a split, I guess. Of course, the problem here is that you can't really kill these medevacs very easily with Lings. So they are going to abuse that a little bit. But he's also pushing up the top side here, too. Ooh, I like it.
Yeah. He's now just...
Drop inside the main gets shut down, but then you bounce down to the third base. Oh, he's got Lings here, too. That's a pretty good Widow Mine connection. That guy's got, what, 7 kills? Not bad.
Yeah, nice drop down at this location. Like, Rogue's supply is okay, but it's not phenomenal. And
got a hatch.
Yeah, that is really good for Bunny. He's also still got these mines littered at the back here, while he's also pushing the upper left. If he just keeps reinforcing that, keeps the pressure on Rogue, he may be able to save himself from these counterattacks. Bunny's also successfully been mining from his fourth base for a good few minutes now, which is very significant that Rogue hasn't been able to hit that with like a Baneling run by or anything. Bunny splitting against Lings. He's got a decent amount of bio to go up against this, though. A couple more Banelings do roll in as Rogue is defending his bases.
Rogue's not getting Adrenal. Alert, alert. Rogue is not getting Adrenal for his 100,000 Zerglings. Rogue, if you lose this game, it's because you didn't get an upgrade for him, my guy.
Okay, the Widow Mines are all gone now, though, so Rogue is actually able to pursue this bio. Bunny does get chased away, but then he's got a counterattack towards the 6 o'clock position.
Yeah, Parasitic Bomb getting tossed down. Viper support is nice here, but guess what's also nice? Adrenal is nice. I cannot believe he's forgetting this. He's getting 3-3 for his Lings. Are you Cyril? Cyril's done this in the past and greatly annoyed me. Oh, yeah. I've got 3 games from Cyril where he's playing it like DreamHack and he just completely forgets about Adrenal. It's insane. Against, like, Maru, too.
Well, if you forgot it, it mustn't have been that important, right?
He's lost games where he didn't have Adrenal for his 1,000 Lings he produced during the game.
Okay, beautiful.
That's exactly what this is.
By Bunny.
It was. Guess what would have done better against that? Adrenal Lings.
GG. Bunny takes it. Consistency. Just really, really well done.
I refuse to give that to Bunny. That was Adrenal.
I don't think it was 100% Adrenal.
Not 100%.
Because, like, 3-3 wasn't even finishing up there, so... I think Rogue just got a little carried away with his Lings and Banes, and that's how Terran can win games, like, just by gradually taking good trade after good trade. Then all of a sudden, you're able to get a base here and there, and... Now we're 2-2.
We are 2-2. I still think Adrenal had a lot to do with that. Maybe not 100%, but those Lings, Rogue was engaging into positions where I think he thought he had Adrenal. I think he thought he's like, you know what?
Maybe, yeah.
I can win this fight because I have Adrenalings with 2-2. And he's like, wait a second, what? And his Lings die. He's like, oh, okay.
Oh, just about
bad.
had you playing Rogue, by the way.
I know, I saw that. And I was like, I wonder if we're going to start.
Cracking your knuckles, like, all right, let's do this.
Oh, boy.
Imagine how surprised Rogue's going to be when he's playing a ZVZ.
I think he'd be fine with that. All right, cool. We got a game 5 here on El Dorado.
El Dorado is our reward for having a best-of-5 series. Go the distance. And there's Bunny.
And then we got Rogue. Tractor tricking.
I will say I'm very happy the way this series has gone after Rogue kind of demolished Bunny last time they played. It has been much closer.
That's true. I mean, Rogue has not gone for his crazy overpowered 100 changeling strategy also.
It's true. Bunny's been trying to avoid that.
I think he did that twice to Bunny last time they played.
Oh yeah, at
wasn't
least
it?
2 times. And then he did it to Beyond, and then he won the tournament.
And he hasn't tried it once here, which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess Bunny's just been being hyper aggressive to try and avoid letting the game slow down to that state, which is a good adaptation. It's like, yes, if I don't attack for 20 minutes, I lose the game to 50 overseers.
Turns out, let's log that one away. Man. Yeah, just not doing it all. Go figure.
Yeah, big thanks to everyone for tuning in. Make sure to click that like button on the stream. If you're just lurking, make a soup account. It takes literally 10 seconds, depending how long your username is. It's a very straightforward registration process. We read all your chats. And then if you guys do enjoy Falcon and my own casting, we each have our YouTube channels, which are in the link there, up in the chat.
Yeah. I'm just logged in using my Falcon Paladin Gmail account, which is a super easy thing to do as well. If you want to connect that way, that's available.
Yeah, I've definitely started doing that more and more these days.
Mm-hmm.
Just using my Gmail to sign into things. For the longest time, I was like a purist. I was like, no, I refuse to use this sign in with Gmail option.
Oh,
and then I just
what was
gave
your
up.
objection to it?
I don't know. I just linking things never goes bad, never goes well.
Ah,
it's like, I don't know.
Fair enough.
Okay, Reaper poking and prodding. Rogue is forced to expand to the upper left, as I guess Bunny blocked that location. Either that or this is some intentional crazy mind games he's playing.
I mean, it is StarCraft. Mind games are going to be here.
Yeah, Bunny
Even
is
if we
looking
don't
for this
notice
third base. He's like, are you going 2-base meta? What are you doing, man? Where's your third? What are you doing?
Yeah, the Reaper does have a confused expression on his face that we know is there. He's like, well, KD8 charge in confusion.
I like how you can see like a slight little blip in the graph where the KD8 charge hit the drones.
Yeah, it's nice. Again, it's just Blizzard doing visuals better than anyone else.
Yeah, Bunny is still looking around with this Reaper. He's like, where's the third, man?
Maybe he started it. I couldn't get there in time to see.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's... All right. I mean, why would you check that corner, I guess, is the question. Yeah, those Hellions are like, does it? No? Oh, okay, weird, fine.
I'd love to see the expression on Bunny's face right now.
Seriously, what is going on?
Yeah, leave it to Rogue in a game 5 to do something like this. Now he goes for the sneaky drone transfer, and the Hellions don't see it. Oh my gosh. Okay, he's got the Hellions going. Does he find it?
No.
Ready to blunder.
Okay, go north. Go north.
Oh my gosh, he doesn't see it. Oh my gosh, this is so frustrating.
I mean, it's not like Bunny's doing anything wrong against this, but okay, Rogue actually does go for a Spire.
Oh. So it is kind of like a two-hatch Muto play.
Yeah, he's making it look. He's like, I'm going to fake my base location, so then Bunny thinks I'm going Mutas, and then I'm actually going to go Mutas just slightly later. Because I did actually take my third. Okay, Viking flies on in. It will see the Spire. That's actually a great scout.
Yeah, seeing the Spire and the Baneling Nest, he's like, Lingbane Muto, what year is it?
Good job, Ballsy Viking, which sees this base building now. And then does it fly north and see the hatchery? Okay, he knows.
Oh, I was gonna say, there you go. Takes a hard ride. He's like, oh, this feels like it's been here for some time.
Clicks on the minerals and it's like, oh, you've been mining.
Okay. Huh. Well, that sucks. Quick, third base of your own. Good, landing it on location. Bunny's got a third. That's wonderful.
Yep, sends his Hellions up there, and there's actually... Okay, the Lings are there to defend against this.
Yeah, they're...
Good positioning by Rogue.
Yep. Yeah,
and
Hellions
it was kind of bait. Great anticipation by the Zerg
bait.
player to catch these. And the beautiful, like, just control of his Lings on the attack, so then the Hellions don't really get a nice lined-up shot. -4 Hellions. Now Rogue's gonna Bunny's gonna be in a very awkward position, trying to defend his third base from potential Ling run-bys, but then also dealing with Mutas that are going to be out on the map. Rogue, after getting bullied by Bunny's drops all last game, has said, no, I want to shut these down.
Overseer gets out of there with like 4 hit points, Mutalisk production happening, a +1 flyer attack coming in. It feels like I'm casting Brood War right now.
Yeah.
Muta openings in a TVZ with a +1 attack is like the most normal thing in the world in Brood War, and it's so weird right now in Starcraft 2.
Okay. No mineral walls have been mined out yet. This means that Bunny can kind of just hang out here with his Marines. He's got the rest of his force coming in, stepping on creep. Oh, okay, he actually has mined out that one on his side.
Yeah, that's hard to see sometimes. It's all good.
Buddha mines are getting set up. Rogue is building Banelings and does have centrifugal hooks done, so these Marines do need to be careful.
Yeah, 0-0 Zerglings here against 1-1 Marines.
Yeah.
The Mutalisks don't have any attack upgrades yet either. They're working on it.
That is another significant upgrade timing discrepancy we're seeing from Rogue today. Muta's flying on in, seeing the Marines. Bunny wants to try and maintain presence on the map so the Mutas won't easily bounce to his main base. However, they seem to be taking that path now. Bunny loads up into his Medivacs, and is he just going to go for a counter drop to this? He's repositioning his army, which is a great call. The turrets will buy a little bit of time. And then does the drop go for the main, or?
Oh, drop, you got to choose, man. Go back home or...
Yeah, it definitely took a little bit of time, but here he goes into the main.
Yeah, this is a big deal. There's nothing to deal with this whatsoever. Overseer comes in. Handful of Lings show up. They are 0-0 Lings.
Oh, no. That was not ideal. Now, Rogue has mined this location out, so these units are all of a sudden trapped.
Oh, no. Oh, no. This whole drop is dead. This is why Mutalisks and Corruptors are great, because the Medivacs do not get home when you have this much stuff that can fly, and that is crushing to Bunny. How many Medivacs does he? He's got 3 Medivacs left after that.
Yeah, that was huge damage done. The Terran doesn't have a 4th base or anything up during this either, so he's just going to have to chill on his 3-base economy. He's setting up some more Widow Mines to help out. Rogue comes in, but sure enough, there's the Lings looking to hit the 3rd while Bunny is frantically trying to deal with the Mutas in his main. He's got units close by. They will be able to shut this down. Rogue targets down the turret, then burrows, forcing the scan. Absolute debauchery.
Yeah, getting the turret, forcing the scan. Widowmine going to have to be a turret for now. Mutalisks of Rogue diving in, considering where to go. Tissue regeneration means these mutas are regenerating their HP a lot when they're out of combat, and they're in combat now. But they spend a lot of time. Oh gosh, he does get the Widowmine. Wow, he thought he didn't get it because he pulled away there. Widowmines, 4 drones going down. Widowmine drop in the top left here. Once again, if the mutas are anywhere near those Medivacs, they're going to die, but they're not. They're on the bottom side of the corner.
Yeah.
Trying to get out of there, Medivac. Come back in later, perhaps. Rogue still trying to poke around the main base. Army moving out a little bit. I don't know if that's the right choice. Goodness, Bunny's trying to make a push out while the mutas are this much of a threat.
Yeah, this is one of the things that seems almost destined to fail for the Terran because the Zerg knows exactly what Bunny's trying to pull off right now. Beautiful repositioning on the mutas by Rogue, picks off 3 Widow Mines like it's nothing, and now the Terran is marching forward into 24 Banelings with 24 more on the way, and the mutas are sure enough going to be joining this defense most likely. Bunny is on creep. He is so committed right now.
Oh gosh, Widowmine's getting some decent hits.
Beautiful.
There. Great split by Bunny too. Oh no, that was incredible by Bunny. Rogue's in a lot of trouble now.
Yeah, that was not the fight Rogue wanted to take. Pulling the trigger, he played right into Bunny. That Widowmine connection really was key. The Terran has had mining disrupted at his 3rd, but he's getting back to work now. And there's no more counterattacks being queued up because Rogue is totally focused on surviving right now.
Yeah, another big Widowmine connection there. The Widowmines are doing so much more work now than they did in the last match. 118 to 98 army supply, but a lot of this is mutas that can't just straight engage with this. They're trying to pick off reinforcements. There's a Thor out, too, with its splash damage against the Mutalisks. Loving that. Trying to dive bomb into the 3rd base. Turret never got replanted there. A lot of SCVs going to die. On the other side, though, Bunny continues to be posturing big time. Turret goes down inside the main base as well, though. Lings and Banelings trying to roll in. The splits are pretty good. Marauders absorbing a lot of those Baneling shots as well, which is exactly what they want to do, but more and more SCVs are dying on that side. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's exactly a base race here, but neither side is really going back home to deal with the threat that is occurring on their own main base. Great Baneling connections there. Lings distracting, and another round of Banes coming in. Widowmine killing a huge group of those Banes.
Yeah, Bunny has taken so much damage back at home, though, and his Marines are so stimmed as he goes for a split, an over-stimmed split. He's desperately been trying to break a Rogue. He's got a lead in army supply still. Mutas eat a Widowmine. There's another Widowmine present. They're gonna eat that one as well. And Bunny now can get his reinforcing Marines across the map. He's been just building as many Marines as he possibly can. He's got 10 Widowmines to back them up. And it's important he reinforces this quickly to maintain this foothold. Good burrow and unburrow on the Widowmines to prevent those being baited out.
Yeah, the Banelings are trying to avoid taking Widowmine shots there, but I don't think they got any Marine kills there. The target fire and the range attack doing some work there for the Marines, obviously. Trying to get up this ramp, just 1 or 2 at a time, trying to avoid getting just bunched up as the Marines like to do. They love bunching up. Oh my gosh, he's getting up the ramp. There are 17 Banelings in production.
The Banes, they're finishing. Oh my gosh.
The split is so good, though. Bunny, you god right now. I don't know if he has enough Marines to do it.
I don't know either.
Oh, they are overstimmed. The Widowmines do get some shots off on the mutas. I think just 1, not the 2 that you want there. What a desperate hold right now for Bunny. The Mutas are trying to stack, trying to avoid Widowmine shots. The Lings are trying to trigger the Widowmine shots. It's not working. Overlord's triggering the Widowmine shots. No connection on the Mutalisks. As well as 54 to 50 army supply, but he doesn't have a lot here. But what he's got is pretty darn scary with 2/2 upgrades. Whew.
Yeah, Bunny's desperately been trying to break Rogue. Rogue, who has got no more Banelings to his name. He's making 5 right now, hoping to be able to clear out the Terran. He's just a little bit afraid to engage into these Marines, but this is quite an overstimmed army for Bunny. His reinforcements are not here right now, so he does actually get pushed back, and this buys Rogue so much critical time. A Widowmine gets sniped down before it is able to fire, and now Rogue is pursuing Bunny across the map. Bunny, who is all in, and Bunny, who I think has been repelled.
Yeah, that Widowmine connection was huge, but 74 to 37 army supply, even with the mules, is not going to be enough. Medivacs not catching any of those glaive. Worm bounces another Widowmine shot on the Mutas. This is why we don't see Mutas very much in this matchup, because Widowmine shots are so scary to those guys. One mix-up and your entire Mutaflock ends up dead. 75 to 46 armor supply. Rogue is up there. He's up Worker. 74 to 37. He should be just fine. But man, a couple good Widowmine shots can really change the trajectory here.
Yeah, Rogue would, or Bunny would need some god tier Widowmines at this point. He's got 24 Marines against the 25 Mutas of his opponent. Bunny's now long distance mining out these mineral fields, so he'll be able to float a base over there and get the gold base income boost. He's definitely going to need that with his measly 37 SCVs. He's got to now try and defend this base against 25 Mutas. And Rogue, who is getting adrenal glands, he's got +3 Carapace on the way. He's in a phenomenal spot.
Yeah, that gold base can help, definitely. Assuming you can hold it, and Rogue is positioned to make a move on it for sure. Hey, look who's getting adrenal. Hey, Widowmines are not triggering on anything there at... Oh, God, the mainly connections are so good. But not enough Marines died there for the Mutas just to jump on it. Maybe they are now, though.
Yeah, Rogue has got critical mass. GG.